This is the ultimate cyanotype hack. I am 50% sure I'm saying that word right. I'm 12% sure that I am saying that word right. Happy Sunday. I hope you had a beautiful week. I'm so glad you're here today. My name is Orly, and this is the DIY Designer. I release a brand new video every single week, and those videos always focus on either developing your unique personal style, otherwise known as your style language, or amazing DIY videos and styling tips and hacks to really make sure that every piece that you have in your wardrobe is specific to you and your style and makes you feel amazing. Now, today is like the ultimate cyanotype hack. Cyanotype is essentially a liquid that you paint onto a piece of fabric, a piece of paper, and when it's exposed to the light, it turns this epic rich blue. However, if you put something on top of it to prevent the light from exposing what's underneath it, it ends up like a reverse print. And my aunt, the Joyful Artist on Instagram, does this like the real way with all of the steps. She forages for flowers and then she presses the flowers. She puts all the flowers on the design and then puts a heavy piece of like plastic or glass so that the flowers won't fly away, and she brings it outside, and once one side develops, she brings it back inside, flips it and relays the flowers, and another piece I am too lazy for all of that. And so I decided to come up with a way to cut out many of those steps. And I did. I am gonna use my Cricut to cut out with perfect precision and tiny little detail the silhouette of pressed flowers. I'm gonna do it out of a sticker cardstock. Why is this such a huge hack? Well, because it is cardstock, it is going to be thick enough that it's gonna prevent the light from seeping through. So we're gonna get a really nice color block. Number two, it's a sticker. We don't need to like randomly have some giant 24 by 48 piece of glass lying around to weigh it down. We're just gonna stick it directly on our fabric and it's not gonna go anywhere. And because we're using the Cricut, we can cut out any shapes we want. I made a pair that has peace signs and smiley faces and lightning bolts and hearts. It is basically an all-in-one cutting machine. The way that I think of my Cricut is if I have an idea in my mind, Cricut is gonna make it look store-bought. Cricut is gonna make it look professional. So I still get to have all of the fun creativity and the design and the ideas, but I have my own personal little robot to do all the heavy lifting so that the end product is just absolutely perfect. So I think it's a really cool thing to check out. Every project I've made, I've loved, and it lasts forever. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna do this in the actual order that I did it. So the first thing you're gonna do is prepare your liquid. I will link this one below. What you need to do is add water to part A and part B for at least 24 hours before you plan on using it. Do not mix them together yet, but just add water to each one and then leave it off to the side while you prepare everything else. Now let's create our design. I found the pressed flowers in Canva. So I just went into Canva, I literally typed in pressed flowers, and there were hundreds of images of photorealistic pressed flowers. Now, we only need to consider the shape, right? This is gonna end up being a silhouette. So we don't need to think about the colors. We don't need to think about any of the details. We just need to look at the overall shape and silhouette. I added a bunch to a project, each one essentially on a different page. That way I'd be working with individuals. Some of them I doubled up, some I tripled, but for the most part, I tried to keep them singular. Then I downloaded it. I clicked the option to do a transparent background, but you don't need to do that because Cricut is gonna automatically give you that option to remove the background. But you can see, here's a folder with all of my different flowers sitting ready to be used. Now I'm gonna open up Cricut Design Space. If you just got your machine, it's gonna offer you the option to install Cricut Design Space. It's free and it will automatically install into your computer. Next, you're gonna click New Project and Upload. Basically, I just wanna upload all of the flowers that I just created into a project. So I'm gonna drag and drop. This is where you would have the ability to remove the background. You would just tap the space outside of the flower, it would make it go gray and white, and it would automatically remove it. Then when you click the option for next, it's gonna say, is this a print and then cut image or just a cut image? For me, they're just cut. Again, I'm not printing them. All I need is an outer silhouette of the flower to be cut in our cardstock. So I did this over and over again. I dragged and dropped a flower in, I clicked the background if needed, I then clicked cut file, and then I ended up with a folder in my Cricut filled with all of those different silhouettes ready to be added. Highlighted them all and add to canvas. It's gonna add them really big because the original file was pretty large. So all I'm gonna do is go to the top, click width and click 3, because it's locked, the ratio will stay the same. So it's basically gonna make them all 3 inches tall. But remember, some of these have multiple flowers on them. So once you make them all 3, make them small, whatever size you want, and sort of lay them onto your canvas, you then want to go in and adjust for size. Make, leaves that are supposed to be bigger, make them bigger. Flowers that are supposed to be smaller, make them smaller. We want this to look realistic, so try to size your flowers according to what size they would actually be. Next, you're gonna click Make It, and it's gonna ask you, are you doing this on a mat? Are you doing this without a mat? And you're gonna select whatever's right for you. If you're doing it on a mat, you're then gonna tell the machine what size mat. It will automatically load as much as it can on one mat if possible. If you're doing smart material, which I was doing, the smart paper cardstock, you don't need a mat. So all you have to do is answer the prompts, and the machine is gonna do the rest. It's gonna tell you what blade to do, how big to do it, what pressure to use, all that good stuff. Now, what I did here for this pair of jeans is I just went into the images that are available within Cricut, and I just typed in peace sign, flame, heart, lightning bolt, whatever I wanted, and I added anything that I liked directly to my canvas. Now, if I was printing this in, let's say, a vinyl that was different colors, the machine would automatically divide it up by color so that it would cut everything that's yellow together and everything that's pink together. I want everything to cut the same because, again, it is all one piece of cardstock. The color is irrelevant. So I make everything black so that it'll be more efficient in its cutting. Now it's gonna load them all onto the one mat. Again, because it's all one color, I can cut in a more sort of efficient process. Now, this is what it looks like. Once you click your material, smart paper cardstock, the little button on the machine's gonna flash. What it's waiting for is material so that it can feed it in and measure. Make sure that we have enough material for what you told me we have. It double checks, and once it's good to go, the play button flashes. You press the play button and it will start cutting. It will do its thing, and now you can totally walk away and move on with your life. It will cut all of the detail, no matter how big, no matter how small, with incredible precision. This is the graphic one, like the peace signs, and you can see it's a thick, super sticky cardstock. This is gonna be amazing, right? All of my little graphics. Now, for the flowers, you'll see, look at that detail. Look at the detail, like the stem on the flowers. I can't wait for you to see what this looks like. It's amazing. And these stickers are strong enough to be used more than once. So you can use them on one garment, save them, and use them again. Now, when you are actually ready to paint is when you mix your liquids together. It says equal parts. So at first I measured it and then I was like, oh, well, that was stupid. It's 1 cup. I'm gonna use it all. So I mixed part A and part B into one bin, and I'm gonna use it now. You need to use it within 4 hours of prepping it. So only mix it once you're ready to go. Now, this is the first one I did, and I learned a lot of mistakes on this one. This was a white jumpsuit. It was soaking up the fabric, liquid so much that I was like, shoot, I think this is gonna take a really long time. Maybe I'll pour it right over it in a bucket and sort of soak it almost like you would dye. Very quickly, it became clear that I did not have enough liquid to do it because, again, it was like a thick denim and it was just like a sponge. It was soaking in the material. So I tried pulling it out and reserving enough liquid that I would maybe be able to paint it and fill everything in. I did not have enough. I sort of messed this one up. So what I ended up doing was painting as much as I could. And then you'll see in a second, I basically roll it up, fold it up, and put it in a plastic bag in the dark, hoping I will keep it wet while I buy more liquid. 2 days later, more liquid came. I opened it up and was ready to reapply. But the thing is, it had been sitting on there for a while. It looked a little darker. I think it I don't know. I added more on. Some areas got more than others. I think that had I done it in one coat, it would have been better. This one, though, is one of my favorites. This is like a light cotton linen. You do need a natural fiber to do this. And what I thought I would do is I would create a brush stroke, like a visible brush stroke. So I'm making the top solid, but I'm sort of fading off right around the waist, making the brush strokes visible so that the remaining color, the initial sort of, tan linen color, will be exposed around the waist with these like blue brush strokes. I thought would be super cool. These were the matching pants. And actually this was a set that I never wore because it was too sheer. So I was thinking, ooh, if I make it blue, it won't be sheer anymore. So that's the reason I did this, and it is my absolute favorite. So again, a light coat throughout, and you need to leave these to dry. That is one of the hardest parts. It needs to dry in the dark. So what I did is I put like a towel over them in my studio with a note on the door that said, don't turn on the lights. I left it for a few days until all of them were dry. And then I grabbed my stickers and I started peeling and I went, look at all this detail. Like, look at the incredible detail, the tiny little notches, the little branches, like everything is cut out really beautifully and super sticky. So again, in the dark, you need to create your design. You're basically gonna peel your sticker and place it anywhere that you want. Wherever you see a sticker, the white of the original garment is gonna show through, and anything that's exposed is gonna turn that rich blue. So we're gonna pull everything outside. You wanna let it expose in the sun for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Usually the longer you leave it to expose, the richer the color is going to be. And there's no way to know exactly what color it's gonna go. Each fabric is slightly different. Now here you can see the benefit of the sticker. I was able to do the front and the back at the same time. Just pick it up and flip it over. Nothing falls off. No need for that heavy plastic to hold everything down. One thing you do want to keep in mind though is that you want to, like, any folds, any pleats, make sure it has time to be exposed in the sun. That tiny little fold right there would have returned to its original color had I not opened it up. So just make sure to pay attention to all of those little things and take your time to expose everything. Now, once the front and the back have both been exposed for at least 20 to 30 minutes, you're going to bring it inside, take off all of your stickers and rinse it under cool water. It's going to be a little scary at first. It's going to look like it didn't work. The flowers are going to look blue and you're not going to really see much difference. But as you start rinsing it longer and longer under the water, what is blue starts turning a deep, deep, rich blue, and where the flowers were starts reverting back to its original color. It's super cool. So here you can see, I started peeling off the stickers and I'm like, oh no, like it's blue. It looks like it didn't work. It looks like it actually developed, but it didn't. It just takes the cool water to actually complete the developed process. So once you rinse it, you're gonna start seeing what you're working with. Now again, this was my least favorite one. The color didn't develop as evenly as I wanted it because I did it in 2 separate passes. Some of it developed before I had time to put the flowers on, but you'll see at the end, I think I salvaged it and it does look pretty cool. Now, these took perfectly. These are crisp and strong and all of the lines are great, and the denim actually took a little bit lighter, so it's not quite as deep of a color. So you'll see at the very end the variation in intensity and saturation of color. It's kind of a crapshoot. You got to be a little bit flexible with it. Now, once this is done, you're going to throw them all in the wash. This jumpsuit felt a little short to me, so I released the hem, and again, because it wasn't exposed to the sun, you can see that it was bright white. And then I wanted to test something. Since some of this didn't take as clearly as I wanted, I grabbed bleach and a paintbrush and I tried to see if I could like remove the cyanotype from the flowers, and it actually worked. So if you get a mess up at all, try taking a paintbrush and just buffing it in. Now, one thing I want to show you is after I finished filming this video, I actually decided to color in some of the graphics on here. So at the end of the video, it's going to be blue and white, but I wanted to show you, like, I did this and then I went in and I played around and I had a lot more creativity with it. So it's never done. You can always have fun and make sure it represents your personal style. I'm gonna go model these for you right now. I will tell you that the jumpsuit is my least favorite because it's the first one I did and I feel like I really learned a lot. The pants and the shirt combo came out beautiful. The color is gorgeous. I just love everything about it, and the jeans, you guys, are so cool. There's so many ways that you guys can take this technique and make it your own. So I hope that you love it. If you do, subscribe to the video if you're new. I do brand new videos every week and I'd love to have you. All right, you guys, have a great week. I'll see you next week.
Riding a horse, you I adore. Don't want remorse. My brain moves like speed.